The time has come for American gun owners to counterattack on the political forces who would take away their own right to keep and bear arms. Let's look at the situation. American gun owners can do this. There is sufficient strength on the part of the Second Amendment community to do this. There are about 100 million law-abiding gun owners in the United States who own about 200 million rifles, shotguns, and handguns. The firearms owners in the United States purchase about 1 million or between 1 and 1.5 million guns per month. They're doing this because they're fed up with the nonsense that's coming out of Washington. Okay, we have a president who maintains he's a supporter of Second Amendment rights, but whose previous public record indicates that he is the most anti-gun president in the history of the United States. Even though he maintains that he is a supporter of the Second Amendment, look what he's done. His first appointee to the Supreme Court is a woman who has stated that the Second Amendment does not guarantee to law-abiding American citizens the right to infringement on their right to keep and bear arms on the part of state and local governments. He also has pushed for a treaty, an inter-American arms treaty, which if ratified, could lead to the undermining of the traditional rights of law-abiding American citizens. Americans generally are getting fed up with this guy. I mean, gun owners in particular don't believe his protestations of support for the Second Amendment because he turns right around and does things that would undermine that Second Amendment, such as his judicial appointments and his promotion of treaties which would underline that. We know him for what he is. We have come to regard the president as akin to a snake on roller skates. He slithers around the White House. He slithers around the country. He slithers around the issues, the great issues of great concern to tens of millions of law-abiding American citizens. American firearms a few weeks ago saw their strength manifested in the Congress when the Congress enacted into law a bill which provides for the carrying of loaded firearms in national parks and wildlife refuges by law-abiding American citizens, provided they comply with the laws of the state in which these entities are located. Believe me, there's enough strength on the part of the law-abiding gun-owning community to, if it continues to be activated, to defeat the machinations of the snake on roller skates and his cohorts in the media and in Congress and in other parts of the government. Now is the time for Americans to act. Now is the time for law-abiding Americans to act. It is time for law-abiding Americans to act as they never have before, to act through their representatives in the Senate and in the House of Representatives, by emailing them, by mailing them, by calling them, by visiting them in their offices in Washington, D.C., and in their various states and districts, to proclaim aloud the rights of law-abiding American citizens under the Second Amendment, as enunciated last year by the Supreme Court, and is held by more Americans, probably by twice as many Americans who voted for Obama as voted for Obama in the last election, in the election in November. Speaking of elections, there is a midterm election coming in less than 18 months in which gun owners who now are activated by Obama and by what he is trying to do to underhandedly undermine the rights of law-abiding American citizens through promoting this treaty and through his judiciary appointments, to let their senators and representatives know how they feel about the actions of Obama and company. Now is the time to act. Now is the time for law-abiding American gun owners and all who love freedom, all who value the right to life and the right to protect it, who value their economic freedom, to let their senators and representatives know that their heads are reared up, that they're ready to fight, that they're ready to argue against the machinations of the snake on roller skates.